What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another live Thursday show. Ben, glad you caught it at the beginning of this week too. What up, Chris? Hi ho, what's going on, everybody? What's new? Hey, Black Eye. Thanks for stopping back in. I saw you were in here earlier. Glad you made it to the live show. Just checking everything out, make sure everything's working right. Hey, David. What's everybody up to? Anything new? I've just been tuning on the old Chevelle with the Sniper 2. You know, dealing with typical Holly stuff. What up, Andrew? How you doing, my man? Everybody, big round of applause for our moderator, Andrew. Man, I tell you what, like last night I stepped off the back porch and totally twisted my bad ankle, like just straight rolled it over. And I don't know, you'd have to go back to some of my very first tuning videos because I think I may have recorded some of those in the boot after I broke my left foot off. Literally broke my foot in 3 places where it attaches to my leg. Congrats, David. Had your first happy customer starting my side tuning job. That's awesome. Chevy for Life, what's going on? Mark, I do not have the Z06 anymore. Right now, the garage is the Smoke Monster, my 70 Chevelle, my Hellcat, and the Global B Super... No, I'm so bad. Sorry, not Superauto. That one's gone. Silverado with the supercharger. Supercharged Whipple. And I don't know if you caught the live show last week, but Brandon and I have been talking this week about new stuff that has been popping up on the Global B platform, new issues that we're trying to sort out. Yeah, David. Well, thanks for watching and thanks for coming by the live show. Yeah, Mark. Listen, love the Z06. My second favorite car that I've owned in the last probably 5 years. I liked it more than... So, let's go over kind of what we've had from a high level. So, we had the Z06... we're not even going to count the GTO. Had the Viper, had the GT350, and now the Hellcat. The Hellcat's my favorite. Z06 would probably be my second favorite. The GT350 would probably be my third favorite. And my least favorite car that I've owned was my dream car was the Dodge Viper. Never meet your heroes. Do not miss that car one bit. I miss all the other ones a little bit for the GT350, more for the Z06, and if I got rid of the Hellcat, I would be definitely missing that. So, Ben, O2 sensor location on single turbo setup. My stock 2 narrow bands, driver side sensor reads the driver's cylinder, but my passenger O2 reads all 8. How do I tune past that? It's a good question. So you're doing a crossover log on the front, I'm taking it, and then your downpipe has both your passenger side and your driver's side. Honestly, are you seeing a lot of difference between your narrow bands? Well, Mark, a lot of people have that issue with them. And I'm 6 foot. And so I was completely... seat all the way back. It was just the most uncomfortable car I've ever been in. It just did not enjoy sitting in it. Like, I am not a Dodge guy whatsoever, but I absolutely love the Hellcat. Love everything about it, except for the rattles. It's a little rattly. Typical American car. Passover under trunk, yeah, so... One four. That's. Hold on a second, Ben. You got something off there. 2468 Rich. 1357 lean is what you're saying. Driver side lean. Passenger side Rich. Let me think about that for a second. I'm going to be doing a twin turbo blower on my Charger. Oh, you going compound on that? I kind of wish I would have gotten a Charger. I think they look better than Challengers. Ben, you might be able to adjust the switching voltage for the passenger side, your even side. It's just odd. I would expect that side to read lean and the driver's side to read rich, not vice versa. Because you're getting, well, I mean, really, that's weird. What up, DZ? Yeah, Andrew, the color on the Z06 is what sold me, and having that spice red interior, the color combination on that was. Here's the big thing though, like compared to the Hellcat, because Z06 and the Hellcat, as far as I'm concerned, were the closest to. The Z06 was just pure untamed rage, whereas the Hellcat has a lot of power, but feels way more controllable. What up, Chris? Another Chris. We got so many Chris's around here. Well, yeah, Z01 Chris, you could be onto something. Could be an exhaust leak on. Well, no. Oh yeah, could be an exhaust leak on your driver's side. Even where your crossover tube is, Ben, where it bolts up to the driver's side header, it might be leaking there and allowing some air to get in between exhaust pulses. Romeo says, going to try out some R110 race gas tomorrow. Any tips on ignition timing? Romeo, are you going to be trying it out at the track? Somewhere where you can actually log improvements? That's going to be my main question. Hold on a second. Well, Ben, you're hold on. I got to scratch my head here. Romeo, go in. I would probably start with 4 degrees. See if you pick anything up. Listen, when you're running 110, you're going to exceed maximum ignition timing for power and still not get into any kind of knock or anything like that. You can go probably quite a ways past that. And so there is such a thing as too much timing, because you'll get to a point where you're just not going any faster. Back it back off once you get to that point. What I miss here? End up going turbo once I get more used to the power output. Yeah. No, I think the Charger's just better looking. Just tried 8-speed tuning for the first time and I love it. What all did you do, Chris? Just adjusting shift pressures and shift timing points. $14 degrees is about where 10 to 14 degrees is where I normally shoot for timing. But if it's over 1500 RPM, you got vacuum leak. Got vacuum leak, or your bypass valve isn't, your blow off valve's not opening up and the turbo's pushing air into the throttle. So I'm trying to understand this. 2 front cylinders are flipped from the back 6. What motor is this? Shorten shift time, raise shift pressure, converter slip zeroed, Just shift scheduling, change pressure pattern modes. Yeah, sweet. Just stay away from those torque modifiers on the last tab. I don't understand why your front two cylinders would be flipped. I just don't understand that. Something's weird there. To do that, you would have to physically... Hey... You would have to change the cam timing. You would have to change the injector and ignition connectors and swap those around. Like, I don't even know if that's possible. I mean, technically anything's possible, but that's a new one on me. Yeah, I love opening up tunes where dudes have killed a trans and that thing's zeroed out. And I'm like, bro, you can't take that out, dude. Something's funky there, Ben. If it's a stock harness, the firing order is hard-coded in the ECU. You can't change that. You can change the connectors on the harness to change the firing order, but you can't go into the tune and change the firing order. Even if you have one of the ECUs that has a firing order in the tune, it still does not change the firing order for the ECU. It changes the misfire detection, is all. That's crazy. I'm still trying to wrap my head around this cylinder thing. I tell you what I need to do. I need to pull the front clip off the Chevelle and realign the whole front end of the car because it's terrible. But it's not tuning work. It's not even fun work. It's just terrible work. Ben, focus on your intake leak right now, because you got an intake leak. That could be causing a lot of issues. Since it's idling high, focus on getting your idle set up. Turn your narrow bands off and ignore them right now and just run off your wide band. Okay? You can't adjust bank-to-bank fueling anyway, so your wide band should be an accurate picture of your exhaust path, what's going on overall, and just focus on that. And if you've got an intake leak, that's because it's whenever you're cranking it, it's pulling more air in than it should be. And so you have to press the gas to get it to add some fuel. Wonder how to change firing order on the Duramax diesel. Well, as far as I know, got hair in my mouth. And I'm sure the Duramax is the same way. As I said, the firing order, as in the outputs on the ECU, if you look up the pinout on it for the injector order, the outputs are fired in a firing order, whatever it is, hard-coded into the ECU. There's no software really that's going through that other than the changing the pulse widths. The controller direct fires the outputs on it. And so to change something like firing order, if you're to do a 4-7 swap or whatever the hell it is on a cam, you would have to take the output for 4 and 7 and swap those on either the injector connector and ignition connectors or on the output for the injector and ignition on the ECU harness. They have to be swapped there. There's nowhere in the programming that you can do that, even if it shows. Because let me open up the editor here and let's look. Because a lot of these have firing order outputs on them, but are firing orders in the tune, but it doesn't do anything. It's for misfire calculations. And so, let's see if this one's got it. General, nope. That's why a lot of them also do not have it, because it doesn't do anything. Maybe it's only third gens that do. Yeah. So if we go over to the whiteboard, there we go. So we got firing order here. This is not going to change anything. So this is solely for your misfire. Yeah, but cam, as I said, cam has to be changed because the cam determines your firing order. Then everything has to jive with that. On small block Chevys, the 4.7 swap is popular. Small blocks and probably big blocks. Because it makes them run smoother. That's it, Chris. As far as I know. I don't know. You would have to talk to guys that are more experts on that. I'm sure somebody like Richard Holdner could tell you exactly why you do something like that. But, you know, all LS cams are ground to the standard LS firing order. I don't think they offer a firing order swap. You could get a custom cam ground. Say you were somebody that had too much money sitting around, you decided to put a flat plane crank in, then you would have to change the firing order, which means you would have to change the cam order. And if you're going that route, you're probably not doing it on factory ECM, you know. And as far as I know, aftermarket ECMs work the same way. I can't think of an aftermarket ECM where you can just go in and change the actual firing order. You have to change the pin out to change the firing order on the ECU, because a lot of times, without getting into computer programming and how subroutines operate and stuff like that, that's what's going on. Is there's a subroutine that's triggering an injector driver or a ignition driver, and so all that's kind of like hard programmed in to say, hey, whenever this subroutine gets triggered, we don't do anything other than light this output. Yeah. Interesting topic to get on. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, it's a good way to try and spin your motor backwards. If you want to test it out, just go out to your small block and swap your plugs on your distributor. That's all it takes on a, you know, and that's the thing is about if you do it on a small block Chevy with the new cam, you're just swapping the plugs on a distributor, because if you're running a distributor and a carburetor, it doesn't care. So it's a lot easier. Pop out the intake. Exactly, Chris. But I think it's one of those things that the firing order in the LS is just works. It's the right firing order for it. And speaking of which, did I tell you guys that I ordered a very special cam for the LS, for the LS3? What up, Bernard? Good to see you, brother. Been there, done that. Recommend a way to transfer tunes to a different VIN. Chris, I'd probably just do a compare and just copy overall differences. So it showed up today. I thought it was going to take like 2 more weeks, but it showed up today. I was looking up specs. Well, to give you an idea, Schmidt, I was looking up specs to give it something to compare to, and the closest thing that I could find that this cam compares to, and it's not quite as extreme, it's like 90% of a top fuel cam. What up, Joseph? Chris, I have not heard anything. I have no clue. Anybody run a D-stroke 6-liter? What cam grind did you run? Squad Live! Can you run your injectors at max duty cycle? You can, until they fail. So what happens is, whenever you're at max duty cycle at 80-85% or so like that, regardless of the pulse width that you're sending, the injector's open all the time. And what can happen is an injector can stick. And the problem with that then is that we're flowing fuel whenever we don't want to. And that's how we bend rods. Yeah, and that's the thing. You're not getting any more fuel once you get above that, like 85, maybe 90. Depends on the injectors and how good they are. But you run out of available fuel whenever you get up there also. I feel you, Chris. I feel you. I got a feeling this is the month. What is this? August, September. I think maybe. I don't know. I honestly do not know. I'm so out of the loop at this point in time. I've not kept up with it very well because I just said whenever they come out, send me one. So, rest assured, we will be throwing I'll go down and get a bottle of champagne to pop the cork. So, Schmidt, going to be running nitromethane. No, but that's the other issue. So, I'm thinking that I'm changing my idle estimations up to I don't think it will idle below 1,500 RPMs and possibly not under 2,000. I am now a little bit more convinced maybe I can get it started if I put 24 volts to a standard starter and spin it fast enough because it's not going to have any compression fighting it for the most part. So, Mike says the core will be like late October 2024 or January 2025. Yeah. I mean, top fuel idles at 2,500, so I'm going to be less than that. But I'm just going to have to hill start it. I don't even know the thing go down a hill fast enough to get started. We're going to try. So I'll shoot a video this weekend going over all the specs, all the stuff, to fill you guys in to what is literally I don't know where they're called it, the craziest LS cam or the dumbest LS cam ever made. Mike, I think it will be out before SEMA, to be honest. I think it will be out before SEMA and PRI. Technically, they had it at PRI last year. They had a model on hand, and they had the software running last year at PRI. So, I just don't know how much I can say about it, other than I've not really kept up on it that much in the last 3 months. So, will I be going to PRI this year? Ben, I think I am, because I think I am going to be in the Elite Tuned booth this year, which will be right next to the HP Tuners booth, which the HP Tuners booth will be in the same location as been the previous couple years, because I'm pretty sure they've got that spot on lockdown. But Elite Tunes got a bigger booth this year, and they asked if I wanted to take up some space in the booth. I probably should get a banner or something ordered. one of the stand-up things. I don't know. But, so, if you are at PRI, stop by. And don't be surprised if I ask you to sit down and maybe shoot a short interview video with you talking about tuning. Or, your experience. Wear a goat mask. Oh, I'm not going to SEMA. I'm going to PRI. I don't do SEMA. I've been to SEMA once, and I think everybody should go to SEMA once because it is an experience, but it is a bit too much. That, and it's just like too much, like undercar lights and 28-inch wheels and crap like that. You see some cool cars and stuff like that, but how's the Flex Tune been working on your car? Socrates, has been working 99% great. I've got one very interesting issue, and it is so specific. It's only in 6th gear, only at 69 or 70 miles an hour, and it's almost like the thing is going into inference mode again, and it bounces around a little bit. Can you explain the safe AFR for 93 pump? Running 20 to 24 PSI. Poo. AFR. Oh, man, you're plenty rich. 20 to 24 PSI. Technically, 12.2, 12.3 is going to be the limit of how lean you probably want to get to at that pressure. You got the 1.4 liter though. It's direct injected. I'm taking it. So it could run a little bit leaner, but I wouldn't at 24 PSI. I mean, you passed the verge of being safe no matter what if you're running 24 PSI on anything. You gotta go to SEMA for the Bluetooth drive shafts. Dumb thought, perhaps. With Ben's 2X narrow bands, could you wire both ECU? Yes. But here's the thing. Like, that's a great question. If you wire the output from the side that's post-turbo into both inputs, basically split the output, should be a 0 to 1 volt on those, so it's going to have almost no impact on it. I just don't know that it's going to make a difference other than I'm trying to think if there'd be a way just to turn off the driver's side and only do closed loop inference from the passenger side, but I don't know if there's a way to do that. That's the only thing it does, Socrates. And I tell you what, soon as I change load, give it just a smidge more throttle or something like that, it goes away. You have to be steady state, no pedal transition whatsoever, and it's almost impossible to get it to reproduce the issue. And it only does it, and I say it only does it in 6th gear at 69, 70 miles an hour. It would probably do it at 5th gear if I found the speed and tried to cruise that speed. It's like one spot, and I just really haven't spent that much time going back to mess with it because I haven't had that car on the highway so often in quite a while, so it's like meh. 10's too rich, man. Bluetooth carburetor on eBay. Well, I guess technically the Sniper 2 could be Bluetooth now. There you go. Romeo's got a good point. If it's happy, leave it. I mean, I agree. There's not much power to be picked up by leaning it out. So, like, it's not like you're missing out on 15 horsepower because you're running it too rich. Now, it may be a 10.5, but if you're in the high 11s, you're perfectly fine. Yeah, O'Reilly's has flux capacitor on their site. You can order it from the store if you go in with the part number. I think, who did? Oh, Derek at Vice Group ordered one. Oh, wrote the ad wrong. For a Bluetooth speaker, but put photos of a carburetor up. $12 is, well, and as I said, adding more air doesn't necessarily mean that we need to run richer, because we're still commanding more fuel to achieve that air to fuel ratio. And there's just going to be a point that you hit where you can no longer counteract ignition, pre-ignition knock. 93 is pretty good. It's not E85. It's not, 110. So you're going to hit a limit. And the problem is whenever you hit that limit, you're going to butt rings together and destroy something. I mean, it's a max duty cycle on the pump and the injectors. Well, and the thing about it is, if it's at max duty cycle on the pump, I don't know that you can really do anymore if you've got one of those kind of pumps. Other than find a, they make higher rated pumps that will work with that setup. Because Super Auto had a fuel pressure or fuel pump control module on it, and I put I don't remember, 300 and some in it, and they're like, not supposed to be used, but it can. $10 AFR too rich. Yeah, too rich. You're losing power at that point in time. Losing power, wasting fuel. And I think that you're not adding any more safety once you get past, like 11 and a half. You used to have blinker fluid too. Exactly. Soot. You're that guy that's got smoke coming out the tailpipe. Not the good smoke. No, I'm sure you don't, Squid Live. I'm talking about the guys running 10-0. Hell, Squid Live, you probably have a hard time trying to get black smoke out the tailpipe if you want to, because of the closed loop system on the wide bands for the Hellcats. Yeah, I'm sure you do, Bernard. A little bit of soot. Yeah. I get quite a bit of soot on the Chevelle and the Nova. The Nova, I'm afraid of somebody walking by with a cigarette because they might light themselves on fire from the exhaust fumes. I've got to figure out what's going on with it, because I've got way too much fuel pump on it right now. And I just need to work on it. I need to take the hood off of it. That's the first step. I take the hood off, then I'll start the second step. And did a burnout won't even work now. My diff leaking. Yes, all the fuel. Hey, I don't mind it on the Hellcat. Smells a little rich. Smells like popcorn, right? But I don't need that gasoline smell sticking around all the time. Let's see. Do I have any memberships to give away? I got 5 memberships to give away. I'm going to give away 5. Yeah, exactly. People want the Pops and Bangs tune, but I got that popcorn tune. See? Sloppy Nose, the ethanol candy factory. Smells so good. I mean, it makes me want to pull the car into the garage and just let it idle with the door shut. I'll be like, don't worry, it's tuned clean. Nothing but pure popcorn smell coming out of this. Just toss a little butter in the exhaust pipe. Yeah, exactly. Till your eyes burn. You got it. Matt, you got a live show tonight? I guess I could probably check my subscriptions and see. No, sir. What are you working on right now? Fill the kids in. The kids want to know. Yeah, I feel you. I'm right behind you. Though I'm looking at your thumbnail for the introduction to dry nitrous for the Holley EFI, and I love the cow. Laying a big patty on the ground. Yeah, I got yard work to do. We're almost at that point in time. Dude, I saw that on Instagram that you took the fancy motor out and you got the Krusty bird in there and Krusty. Such a good name for a motor. I like to just call most of mine failed. Sounds like a pro mod. Dude, I was just telling the group, I've got, today, I got delivered the stupidest LS cam ever built. And this thing's going to, I don't know if I'm even going to be able to get a motor started on it. Because it's basically a top fuel cam for an LS. We're going to have to really turn up the old starter to get the motor turning fast enough to get it to light off. Should I buy a new O2 from AEM or buy cheapy and wire it in? Just make sure it's the same style. Make sure it's 4.2 or 4.9, whatever you're using beforehand, because that really does matter. But the connector is going to be the same, or should be the same. If it's the square or the D-shaped one. The square one's going to be your early 4.2. The D-shape's going to be the 4.9. So, see you, Andrew, if you're still here. Never check the main bearing. Yeah, no. I don't even like to take the crank out, because then I feel obligated to check it. Like, give her the old spin. Sounds clean. Send it. That's what the oil's for. Oil takes up all that slack. Oh yeah, let's give away some memberships. How the hell do I do this again? Oh, there we go. Membership gifting. If you don't have the, it's not a raffle, Schmidt. You've got to have the option enabled. You can only do it through the website. Boop. We'll give away 5 because I got 5 to give away. Boop, 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 boop. There we go. Well, I see Alex won one, but I don't think he's here tonight. Oh, you can't because you have a channel? I would think that you'd still be able to. I don't know, though. I don't know how it works. I've got the ability to give away memberships, so they give me some for free, and then I can give others away. I just do it every once in a while. Okay. It's good to know. It's for the old combo gauge AFR. As I said, look at the connector for the wideband. See if it's square. It's 4.2. If it's D-shaped, it's 4.9. Yeah, exactly. then you need to retorque the main caps. Why would you want to do that when you could just leave them in place? You get it, Mike. You get it. Okay, listen, guys. We're going to wrap another live show. It's 8:35. Oval. I guess, yes, technically it is oval. I always think of it as D-shaped, but it is oval. You guys, let's see what's going on in the next couple days. I've got that stack of Hellcat parts we need to start messing with. Before I do anything else to the Nova, I'm going to get it out of the garage, get the Hellcat in on the lift, and get it ready for putting some parts on so we can have some fun there. Oh, man, don't do that. Dude, listen, the only thing that does is make your name green. I'm really crappy about posting members-only videos, so you're not missing out on a whole lot. I did take a video of the lift. The audio sucks on it. It should be the latest video that's out, I think. Let me check. Yeah. It's the latest video that's out. I apologize. I don't know what was up with the audio. See you, Bernard. But as I said, we got some cool stuff to go through. I want to do a couple short videos, at least one short video on the Holley Sniper 2 and talk about some of the issues that I've had, just to give people a heads up. And oddly enough, and I'll say this, with the Holley Sniper 2, I have quit. Do I sound like Sylvester? No, it's just kind of muffled. I had to think about that. On the Holley Sniper 2, I've actually quit hooking the laptop directly to it, and I've been doing just pull the SIM card, save the tune to the SD card, plug it in the laptop, put it back in. But I want to kind of talk about some of that on a video, and then I don't know. I've got too much stuff to do. I literally, I'm ready for fall to come and for the grass to die, and so I can do like one more round of yard work, put that behind us, and then we can just focus on working on cars, doing some tuning, dialing things in. I need to start, building a run stand for the LS3. That's going to be something that we're doing. How would I connect my TH400 speed sensor to my truck that has a stock 4L60 so I could use my TAC and speedo? Ben, I don't know that you're going to be able to do that, only because the 4L60 has a TCM that was, oh man, you're in a weird nebulous bubble. What year is your truck, Ben? This is the last question. I'm jumping off here. Come on, bro. Yeah, no. I'm the worst at polishing cars. 2003 Silverado. So, most likely, I would have to dig. So where it's probably getting that from, Ben, is the ECM, but the ECM gets it from the TCM. Yeah, I feel that. Thanks, Romeo. Thanks for stopping by again, bro. So I would not be surprised, Ben, if somebody makes an adapter. Yeah, exactly. Somebody probably makes an adapter that you can run. Oh, yeah, you're right. You're on a P01 or a P59. Okay. The only issue... you should be able to just wire it into the pulse input that was on the 4L60. Should be the same input. You'll have to look it up. It'll be out there. P01 speed input pin. Hey, do you have the blue-red or the blue-green on your... I'm guessing you have the blue-green, right? Since it's 2003. Do you know on your ECU? I'm looking it up right now. Blue-green. Okay, let's see. Speed Doesn't look like it's on that one. Let's see if it's on the green. That's engine speed. Okay, that 49 is the one to your dash. I'm going to have to look at these closer. Hey, everybody, if you want to jump out of here, have a great weekend. You guys know the drill. ABT, always be tuning. Ben, hold on for a second. I'm going to find this pin for you. Throw position. Okay, it's going to be pin 20 and 21. 20 is your low signal and 21 is your high signal. So you will need an output. Be Hall effect. You'll need a Hall effect speed output for your TH400. Somebody shouldn't. Let's say TH400 speed sensor Hall effect. So like, let's see. Somebody makes one that plugs right in. Odometer. Ooh, it's $111. Holy crap. So you'll be looking for essentially something like this. And then in your tune, there will be an area that you can adjust the pulses to change the speed. Yeah, there you go. So this literally plugs in. It's got the little arm that the gear would go on and would go into the side of the housing. Okay. I'm getting out of here. Thanks, everybody. ABT, always be tuning. Have a good night, all that jazz. We going to the end screen?